This message is only for sharks, lions, or wolves. Listen up. The stock market continues to climb with new record highs nearly on a daily basis. This, I believe, will continue, exactly as we have called going back as far as you want to go, guys. But the setup for the economy is quite another story. Bottom line, we'll continue to cover this. So this is a paradox. The faster and the more damage the politicians and central bankers can inflict on us, the economy and the middle class, us, small business, and U.S. industry, and higher the stock market will continue to go until the liquidity dries up the money. It's the same mechanism which is destroying our economy, everyone, which are also the same pushing stocks higher and higher. This is as follows. The same thing we always talk about. Currency devaluation, artificially suppressed rates, and vast debt expansion. If there's three dynamics which are responsible for the current economic freefall, as well as the continuing record highs for the stock market. Moreover, it is the same three dynamics which we'll see further weaponized more forward. Result, freefall economy, economic collapse as the stock market goes higher. With the economy, what's flashing red? Confidence is cracking and the U.S. economy is getting wiped out. So the confidence board index slid again in September, with the expectation gauge stuck far below the recession warning line of 80. We are currently standing at 73.4. The U.S. job market overall has fallen for the 9th straight month, with inflation rising for 10 consecutive months and households pulling back. The U.S. service sector, which contributes to 75 to 80% of the U.S. GDP, is now in contraction because activity has inflated as the U.S. factory manufacturing sector is also contracting transition. The largest sectors of the economy are now in contraction. The U.S. small business bankruptcies are rising. June and July 2025 are the highest monthly total since 2020. Current debasement. Prices are nearly 25% down since 2025. Since 2020. And CPI levels, their own numbers, translation, the dollar is in your pocket to buy way less than it did 5 years ago, guys. This debt super swell time bomb. So the U.S. debt is almost $38 trillion. As I mentioned in my video yesterday, it was almost currently at $200 billion. So, translation, the system must keep yields artificially suppressed just to finance itself. Think of a snake eating its own tail just to survive. The Fed cuts rates 25 basis points on September 17th, and it keeps standing repo facility up and running. Why, guys? The Fed standing repo facility, which is SRF, is a monetary policy tool used for the Federal Reserve to control short-term interest rates and ensure banks' access to liquidity. This is a backstop for funding for the markets. The U.S. Treasuries expanded the buybacks in their own debt. From May 24th to July 25th, the U.S. Treasury bought $207 billion of the same debt it's issuing, just to keep the day-to-day operations of the country functioning. Although the government is currently shut down, go ahead, make it up. Mainstream media is continuing to make it harder and harder, and it will not stop. Falling consumer confidence equals less spending equals lower consumption, which equals small business get hit equals factories don't produce, which in the end equals increasing firings and more layoffs. Household squeeze worsening, a 25% price jump in the CPI, Consumer Price Index, since 2020, and consumer delinquencies are skyrocketing. So rapidly worsening debt expansion is happening. So with interest costs ballooning, politicians lean on rate cuts, buybacks, and funding backstops to keep borrowing and debt expansion going. What does that happen, everybody? Well, it leads to a weaker currency, less purchasing power, acceleration in distorted assets priced, which leads to stock market bullies. So lions, sharks, wolves. This brings us to the full circle. The current economic monetary, how do I put this? So as this continues to happen with everything that's going, we're at this full circle. The currency debasement and losses of purchasing power, this is driving a surge in the cost of living. So the consumer is getting crushed. The dollar is being watered down. Moreover, dollars chase the same goods and services. So each dollar buys less. That's economics 101. So again, let's go back to artificially suppressed rates. So low rates accelerates dollar purchasing power losses, further hitting the middle class and the overall economy. This is a hidden tax of events. And it's a hidden tax on savers. The rates sit below inflation still, guys. Cash and consumer savings lose purchasing power every single month, hurting us, the workers, and the retirees. Think about it. Why is this happening? And the last but not least, the vast debt expansion. By inflating, issuing more debt, and purchasing non-productive liquidity into the system, they keep the machines running without creating real new supply or productivity. The new money enters the top. Wall Street and the primary dealers, large institutions, the bids for artificial assets first, and this tickles me, the real economy later, if at all. The trickles never do happen, so it tickles me instead of trickles me. And mark my word, in 5 months from today, the current economic policy of the U.S. guarantees that the economy will be much worse than it is now. Guys, gold and silver, copper, platinum, palladium, gold and silver, gold and silver. Please let me know what y'all think. Please like, subscribe, and share. Keep stacking. Keep protecting each other. Be charitable. Love each other. Take care, and God bless.